Today I'm going to show you 5 different ways of performing a 1/1 right cross. This stitch is used a lot in my new pattern Flywheel, and I think that there's a lot of good ways to do it, and everybody should use the way that works best for them. So I'm going to show you 5 different ways to do it. First pass through, I'm going to hold the yarn in my right hand for you traditional knitters, and second pass through, I'm going to hold the yarn in my left hand for us continental knitters. So first method is sort of the classic using a cable needle method. We're going to knit the stitches out of order. So out of these two, we're going to knit the left one first and then the right one, and we're going to use a cable needle to keep our place. So slip the first stitch to a cable needle like so, hold it to the back of the work, knit one stitch, and then knit one from the cable needle itself. Like so. Okay, that's with a cable needle. Personally, I find that to be a little bit cumbersome for such a small cable. Cable needles are great for really big ones, but for little ones, I like to use one of these other methods. So one possible method is to simply follow the cable without a cable needle technique. So because we're doing a right cross, we're going to move the yarn to the front, slip that right stitch over, move the yarn to the back, knit one. So now we've knit the left stitch first, but our right stitch is trapped. We need to move it back to the other side. So from the back side, you put your needle, left needle under only that right stitch. So you see only the right one. Pinch everything so it doesn't fall apart. Slide the right needle out of both stitches and then just pick up the new one. So now we've knit the left stitch. It's time to knit the right stitch and the cross is complete. Okay, that's the second way. Third way, because this is a skinny cable, we can just knit them out of order. So you put your right needle into the leftmost stitch and knit it. Now we can't slide anything off because the right stitch is in the way. So you just turn the needle a little bit, knit the right stitch. Now you've knit both stitches, slide them both off. So again, we've just knit them out of order. The fourth method I'm going to show you is a little bit of a cheat, and I feel like it results in an inferior look in most projects, but sometimes it's the most efficient way to get this done and you should just do it. So the fourth method I'm going to call a twist, because technically it's not a cable anymore. Technically we're just twisting the stitches. So you can knit two together, keep both stitches on the needle. So in a way you've knit that left stitch first, and then you knit the right stitch again and slide both stitches off the needle. In this method, I feel like it's just stacking up the stitches a little differently, and it makes it a little lumpy, a little misshapen. So not my favorite for most uses. The final method I want to show you, my fifth and final method for making a 1/1 right cross, is something that is new to me, but I really, really like it because it's kind of like clever and tidy. And it was introduced to me by one of my test knitters. So thank you to my test knitters for teaching me something new. So slip two stitches as if to knit two together. So now they're in the right order, but they're on the wrong needle. So you just put your tips together and slide them back to the left needle in that new order. And now they're in the correct order, but mounted backwards. So you need to knit through the back loop of each of those two stitches in order to achieve a normal stitch. So just like that. So there you have it, 5 methods of doing a 1/1 right cross with the yarn held in the right hand. If you just wait a moment, I'll do the wrong side row and I'll come back to show you the same methods using the left hand. Okay, so here we are doing the 5 different methods of a 1/1 right cross, this time using the yarn held in the left hand just to change things up. So first method is using a cable needle. So we need to slip the first stitch to a cable needle, hold the cable needle to the back of the work, knit one from the left needle, and then knit one from the cable needle. I, again, find this way just a little bit awkward for such a tiny cable, and I would really recommend you try one of the other methods. So, method number 2. This is cabling without a cable needle. So, first step, we flip the yarn to the front, slide the first stitch to the right needle, knit one from the left needle. From the back, you're going to put your left needle in just that second stitch, the one that we slipped initially, pull the right needle out of both of those stitches, and then put it back in only the one that's been already worked. And then you knit that stitch that got slipped back and forth a couple times. So that's cabling without a cable needle. My personal preference up until very recently was just to knit them out of order. It's a small cable, you can totally do it. So first you need to knit the leftmost stitch, and then you need to knit the rightmost stitch, and you slide them both off. That's pretty easy. The twist, which is topologically different, but has a very similar, although not identical look, is to knit two together, leaving both stitches on the needle, and then knit just the first stitch again. So knit two together, leave it on the needle, then just knit the first stitch, slide both stitches off. And then the fifth and final method, my new method that my test knitter taught me that I like a whole lot, slip both stitches as if to knit two together, put the tips of your needle together and slide them back, so now they're in the correct order, but mounted with the leading leg and back. So we're going to knit both of those one at a time through the back loop in order to get the correct stitch mount. 1, 2. Okay, so there you have it. 5 different ways of doing a 1/1 right cross. You can do them with your yarn in your right hand, you can do them with your yarn in your left hand, you can do it Portuguese style. There's always different ways to do the knitting, and that's cool. But I think you'll agree that the 5 different methods have more or less the same look, and I would recommend that you just choose whichever one of them feels the most comfortable to you, and make sure your whole project uses the same method. Thank you.